What if I told you that the symbiote was innocent and Spider-Man was the villain in its origin story? What if I told you I have numerous facts to back it up? How about I just show you? The story of the symbiotes has been told nigh countless times. Sometimes it's an alien from space, other times it was made in a laboratory, sometimes it makes Spider-Man angry, sometimes it changes his clothes, sometimes it doesn't even find Spider-Man, and it just goes straight to Eddie Brock. But we are going to look at the original, yes, the very first telling of the symbiote storyline that all others are adapted from and based off of. During the very first Secret Wars arc, Spider-Man picks up a new suit while on Battleworld. Unaware of the suit being an alien life form and alive, Spider-Man wears the suit and even takes it back to Earth after the events of Secret Wars are over. This suit gives Spider-Man numerous advantages he didn't have before. The suit could supply him with infinite webbing, it could change his appearance and clothes, and it could hold objects for him like pockets. It was pretty impressive when you think about it. Why wouldn't Peter switch out his old suit for the new suit? And so Peter donned the black suit from Battleworld. After having the suit for a while, Peter was beginning to feel tired. More tired than usual, that is, and he just generally felt exhausted. We then see that the suit is actually taking Peter Parker for joyrides at night to fight crime as Spider-Man. Peter Parker's trying to sleep. The suit's like, no, I'm trying to fight some crime. Peter loses sleep. Peter actually never recognizes this. The only time he starts to suspect something is when his new suit and his old suit are fighting each other in a nightmare for control of him. Peter wakes up and takes the suit immediately to Reed Richards, who discovers the suit is an alien life form and it's alive. It requires a symbiotic relationship with the host or else it will die. It was attempting to bond with Spider-Man before Reed Richards removes it with a sonic gun. However, Richards wouldn't be able to remove all of it, and the suit actually remained with Peter. After hearing reports of the suit being active, Peter thinks it's best to check with Reed and figure out what the suit's been up to. When Peter looks in the mirror, though, he sees the suit's actually still bonded to him. After getting in a bout with a bunch of vulture fodder minions, Peter ends up at the church where the iconic scene of Peter using the bell tower to remove the symbiote happens. Now that's pretty much the whole story. How does this make Peter the villain and the symbiote the hero, though, right? That doesn't really make much sense at this point. Let's take a look at it from the symbiote's perspective. It's in a machine on Battleworld. Spider-Man puts on the suit. Suit's thinking it found a host, right? That's his whole point of existing, to find a host. Essentially, he's got a greater life now. He's no longer just a pile of goo just sitting there. He's got somebody to work with, he's got a teammate. He fights along Spidey for a while, and he learns all about what it means to be Spider-Man and to be a hero. He spends his days fighting crime with Peter. He spends his nights fighting crime as Peter's trying to sleep, and he just takes him for a joyride. That is quite literally the fullest to the extent of the maliciousness the symbiote had. Unlike many, many recent adaptations that try to tell you it gives Peter anger issues or anxiety, the original storyline does not have any of that.
You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
The suit just fought crime for Peter, which made Peter tired. At this point, I think it's pretty fair for everybody to look at the situation and say, the symbiote is neutral. But the goal here is to prove that the symbiote's the good guy, so let's go even further. When Spider-Man gets Richards to check the suit and he finds out the suit's alive, Spider-Man's literal first instinct is to get rid of it, no matter what. He was totally okay with murdering an innocent life form who didn't know any better. That alone, in my opinion, paints the picture of Peter Parker as the villain to the symbiote. To nail the argument home, let's look at Peter at the bell tower. Peter again is ready to kill the symbiote. He's actually ready to die himself as long as it means the symbiote can't have him. Which at this point, to me, it's crazy. I mean, the symbiote hasn't done anything malicious, like literally nothing. The symbiote is finally removed from Peter, and Peter's actually still dying underneath the bell tower. Maybe he has some weaknesses from the symbiote still attached to him, so the sound's killing him. They never really explain it, they just say he's dying under the bell tower. The symbiote actually comes back and rescues Peter and drags him away from the bell. We then get a note from the author that says the symbiote was learning from being Spider-Man and spending so much time with him, he enjoyed being a good guy and saving others. The final argument I'll make is that the suit is transferred onto Eddie in the bell tower, and Venom's first appearance happens with him scaring the heck out of MJ. We can see in the following book, the suit was not happy with Eddie Brock going after an innocent woman, who the suit and Eddie Brock both had no issues with. Through and through, the suit tried to do what it thought was right. It learned from Spidey to be a good guy. Spidey attempted to murder it, and it saved Spidey still. And it didn't even want to cause any harm to anyone but Spider-Man, whom attempted to kill the symbiote not once, but twice. When you reread the story and look at it from the symbiote's perspective, it's clear that Spider-Man is the villain here. It's kind of hard not to see the symbiote as a good guy. He was just at worst an ignorant child, and at best he's trying to learn from Peter Parker and be a superhero, and Spider-Man tries to kill him. Now the one thing I do want to talk about, because a lot of people may use it as an argument against me, is the dream sequence, right? In this dream sequence, we see the symbiote suit fighting with the regular suit. A lot of people are going to be like, Doesn't this clearly show that the symbiote suit is evil? I don't think so. I actually would completely disagree, right? The symbiote is deep in Spider-Man's subconscious. Spider-Man often, and I mean often, convinces himself he shouldn't be Spider-Man. He always talks about it. He's always self-doubting himself. The symbiote could just be, well, trying to help him cope. Like, you don't have to be Spider-Man anymore. I can be Spider-Man for you. This is why he's also fighting crime at night for him. You know, he's trying to help him out. The other reason you could bring this up as a reason as to why this happened is because maybe it's a little bit of jealousy, because Spider-Man does show off his other suit a little bit, and then he talks about how, you know, it wouldn't feel right if I wore the suit now that I have the black suit. So maybe the black suit was worried that Spider-Man would go back to it. But there's no sign that this is just malice or that the black suit hates Spider-Man. I mean, he acted as Spider-Man as a good guy at nights for Peter Parker, right? So there's just no evidence of that. That's pretty much all for today. If you guys like this kind of videos and like this kind of stuff, you should like, comment, subscribe. If not, that's up to you, and I ain't gonna sweat it. Have a good one, y'all.